Hey guys, welcome to Ben Wrenchin'. My name's Ben, and today I'm getting this push mower ready for spring. This thing actually wouldn't start at all, so I'll walk you through what I found there. And then I'm gonna do a quick simple tune-up. Spark plug, air filter, sharpening the blade, and changing the oil. Nothing fancy, just the stuff that actually makes these run right. So if your mower's been sitting all winter and won't start, 9 times out of 10, it's fuel related. In my case, it was the carburetor. I already cleaned that off camera, but I'll explain exactly what I did so you can follow along. What happens is old gas turns into varnish and clogs up the carb jets. So what I did is drain the old gas and pulled off the carb. I sprayed it out, cleaned out the main jets and the float bowl. I made sure everything flowed freely and then just put it back together. You don't always have to take the whole thing apart. Sometimes just pulling the bowl out and cleaning the jet will do it. But after doing that and filling it with some fresh gas, this thing fired right up. So at that point, I figured I'd take it a step further and do some regular maintenance. Get a new spark plug and filter and some fresh oil in it. You don't need a lot to do this, and this is all pretty cheap. And it'll help keep your mower running for years like mine has. So if it's running rough, you can start with changing the spark plug. You just need to find the spark plug boot and pull that off to get access to the spark plug. Find the right size socket you need, which mine is a 16 millimeter. And then just loosen up the spark plug and take it out. Once you crack it loose, you can just take it out the rest of the way by hand. And if it looks fouled up like this, it's probably time to replace it. This is what a new spark plug looks like, so that looks much better. It's also a good idea to check the gap on the spark plug before you install it. You can get a spark plug gap dial pretty cheap at auto parts stores. I'll also link one in the description. I'm going to check the gap on the old plug. I read online these are supposed to be gapped to about 30 thousandths, and the old one looks to be that. The new one's a little bit wider. It's at almost 35 thousandths. So that means I need to make this gap just a little bit smaller. To do that, I can put it on the table and just bend this post down just a little bit. And if you bend it down too much, that's okay. You can use this hole on the dial, grab onto the post and just bend it back a little bit, and check it again until you get it right on. And there we go, I've got it right at 30 thousandths, so that should be good. So it's as easy as just screwing this one in. I'll get it started by hand first. That way I make sure I don't cross thread it. And then once it gets tight, I can finish it off with a ratchet. I really don't worry about a torque spec for this, but if you do, I will put it on the screen now. Snap the boot back down and make sure it snaps when you push it down. And it's as simple as that. The air filter is another quick and easy thing to replace. I just take this cover off and expose my old dirty air filter. If it looks anything like this, it is definitely time to change it out. There's the difference between an old and a new one. And it's a good idea to blow this out and get any debris out of here first. But once you've done that, you can just pop in the new one. Just push on it a little bit to seat it down in there. And with the new filter in, we can check that off the list. Next, I'll show you the easiest way I've found to change the oil on one of these. This one doesn't have a drain plug on the bottom, so I have to drain it from the top. So I can take this cap off. I can check the level and condition of my old oil. And to tip it over without spilling all the gas, I can just leave the gas in there and use a Ziploc bag. I just rip it down one side, cover up the opening, and then just put the cap back on. And most of the time that gets a good enough seal that none of the gas leaks out of here. So I've got my oil drain pan and a funnel with the tube on it. I can put the funnel right here and put the tube in my drain pan. And then I can lift it up and tip it over until the oil starts to come out. So I like to wait until I don't see any more oil coming out of this tube. It helps if you can lift the lawnmower up on a 2x4 or something. After all the oil's drained out, you can just lift the lawnmower back up and set it back down and finish draining all the oil out of the tube. I put the tube back in the funnel so that I don't make a mess. I'll clean that up later. But now I've got all my old oil drained out and I can go ahead and put fresh oil in. I always use regular motor oil. I googled this lawnmower and it said it needs 5W30, and luckily I've got an extra quart from my last oil change. It really only takes about half a quart, so I'm gonna put that much in and then I'll check the level and it should be good. Clean off the dipstick and check the O-ring. I've never had to replace this O-ring, but if it was cracked or looked like it needed replaced, I could go ahead and do it from my O-ring kit. I'm sure you can also buy an O-ring, but finding this specific one may be a little difficult. But with it cleaned off, I'll just put it back in and hope that the level is right here at this line with an arrow on it. I always make sure to screw it down all the way so it gets an accurate reading on the level, and take it back out. And there's oil up to that line and a little past it, so that's okay. I'm gonna leave it overfilled just a little bit. If you wanted to get it perfect, you could drain out a little bit more and check it again, but I'm okay with that. So I'll clean up all the oil I spilled, which really wasn't that much, and that is the quickest oil change I'll do all year. To sharpen the blade, I'm gonna leave the Ziploc bag in there so that I can tip the mower over on the side. Got a little bit of gas leaking, so I'm gonna reposition my bag. And the best tip of the day is gasoline works really well as a floor cleaner. So I can tip it over just enough to get access to the blade. I've got it resting on my bench here, and there's no gas leaking now, so that worked. This blade's just got one hex bolt holding it in, and this one is 14 millimeter. So the trick with this is I can't just spin this off because the blade's gonna spin. So I need to get something to wedge in there to keep the blade stationary. Mine's dull enough I can hold it with my hand and get this off. But you can always wedge a piece of wood or whatever you need to so you hold that blade still while you spin this off. I'm gonna pay attention to these washers. I see one on the bottom side of it. There may be another one on top. And I wanna put this back on the same way, so I'm gonna leave it on the bolt. I'll take the blade off, and there's another washer on the other side. So I'm gonna put that on this bolt too, and just remember that the blade was in between these two washers. I like to check behind the blade base because mine's got string and some other stuff wound around it, so I'm just gonna cut that off. It's not the biggest deal, but it's the best time to get something like this off. And it's also a good time to get some of these big chunks off of here. And I also like to use a paint scraper to just scrape all this old grass off of here. So that's probably good enough. Really doesn't have to be perfect, but I got a lot of this stuff out of here. I can show you a couple of ways that I sharpen the blade. The easiest is really just to clamp it down in a vise and then use a flat file to just clean up this blade edge right here. So the sharp part of the blade is on both sides, and all I need to do is run this file across this edge here. So you can see how I'm already starting to get a clean edge on that blade. So I could do one side and then flip it over and do the other side. Or the better way to do it, if you have one, is to use a bench grinder like this. So I'm going to start with the wire wheel just to clean it up, and then I'm going to do a second pass with the actual grinding wheel. So the grinding wheel gets a pretty clean cut. It's definitely a lot sharper than it was, but I find it best to finish it off with the file anyway. And then I'll just bevel the back edge just a little bit. So I find that gets the blade the sharpest. It also cleans up this whole surface. Doing it on the bench grinder, you really got to angle it just right to get the whole surface covered. So I like using a file. So I'll just flip it over, do the same on the other side. And that looks pretty good, and it feels sharp too. Light bevel in the back. And I've got myself a sharp new mower blade and didn't have to spend any money doing it. Now you can't just buy a new blade. These are pretty cheap, but I like to just sharpen my old one since I know it's gonna fit. I know it's the right length, and I know that this is gonna fit onto the chuck that mine's got. You can also check and make sure that the blade's balanced. Just hang it on a nail, or in my case, a brake caliper hanger, and make sure that it's not heavier on one side or the other. If it is, use a wire brush and take off some material on one side and then try it again. But most of the time these stay balanced, and mine looks good. And before I put the blade back on, I'm gonna clean up this side with the wire brush. That'll help make sure the blade's gonna sit on flush. And I wanna make sure the fins on this blade are facing up towards the top of the mower. And I'll fit these two pins here into these slots on the blade. I'll put the washer back in the middle, and I'll get the bolt started by hand. I'm gonna hold the blade in place so that it stays on those posts until I get this tightened down. And so I'll just crank this down as tight as I can get it. And then I'm gonna torque this to 40 foot-pounds. And now I've got a sharp blade and a clean deck. I got a new filter and a new spark plug. Cleanup was easy. I just used a brush and a dustpan to clean up all that grass. If you want to go the extra mile, you can wipe off the deck with a rag. I usually just power wash this at some point in the summer, so I'm going to do that at some point. But with just a little bit of time and some cheap parts, I was able to refresh my lawnmower and get it ready for the summer ahead. So just to recap, if your mower won't start, check the carb first. If it runs rough, change the spark plug and the air filter. If it's not cutting very well, sharpen the blade. Simple stuff that'll save you money, and then you don't have to take it to a shop. Just keep in mind that the first couple times you start it, it may run a little rough. We've got new oil in there, but when we tipped over the mower, the carb fills up with gas and it just takes some time for everything to settle. So start it a couple times, and if it dies, that's okay. Just give it a minute and then start it again. And after running it for a little bit, it evened out, so everything's fine. So that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's the best way to help my channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.